Thank you for visiting the Coin Lady channel again. Just assuming that most people in the crypto and financial industries are doing well. I hope that everyone is having a great day or night. The International Monetary Fund has lately published a number of working papers. In this era of digital everything, including, of course, digital finance, this is one of those elite institutions that has been really directing us in terms of what they are doing around new technology. Here we have ASAP, a conceptual paradigm for digital asset marketplaces, which was launched on February 2nd. Here we have a synopsis. The Digital Finance series, which includes this working paper as its summary, offers an introduction to the basics of technology. Zeroing focus on the nuts and bolts of digital assets for finance. The goal of the series is to provide a framework for technical debates on digital asset standards and to help establish a common vocabulary for the emerging platform-oriented paradigm of financial infrastructures. Drawing on lessons learned from central bank trials and IT industry best practices, this article presents a conceptual architecture called the ASAP Access Service Asset Platform that makes use of digital asset platforms, DAP. Tokenized assets serve as samples and use cases for the ASAP model, which aims to showcase the potential uses and benefits of a four-layer paradigm for digital asset platforms. Similarly, the Internet's interoperability would not have been possible without the use of a seven-layer paradigm, often called TCP/IP. Similarly, the four-layer ASAP model for digital asset platforms is expected to encourage cross-platform interoperability, which would pave the way for a more coherent digital asset ecosystem, even across different countries. As we examine this, it becomes clear that there are two people involved in its creation. One is Victor Tao, I hope I'm pronouncing his name properly, and the other is Hervé Tourdepay. From a historical perspective, these two persons are fascinating. Going back in time on over background, we can see that in April of 2018, we were thrilled to moderate a panel featuring Jeremy Allaire from Circle and Ryan from Ripple discussing how blockchain technology actually helps with financial inclusion and international payments, despite all the hype. Curious, I suppose. However, we also received this one in April of 2018. Digital assets will undoubtedly permeate all financial institutions in the near future, as Ryan predicts, in 2018, thanks to well-established blockchain startups like Circle and Ripple. The blockchain, good crypto, bad view debate is giving way to the topic of practical applications. I find it fascinating, for sure. However, it also shows you how important the links are between Ripple and many of these space-related firms to the IMF. As I said before, this is not simply Earth. You can be interrogating someone else as well. So, how does Victor factor in all this? The BIS Innovation Summit is truly held by you. March 21st until the 22nd, 2023. If we go to the part where Victor is named, we will see that he is, of course, associated with the IMF. Quite a few of these people have, incidentally, they have written extensively on the topic of digital assets and related topics in the past, mostly in the form of white papers. I probably won't be Manzini tomorrow, Tommaso, I only hope I'm pronouncing that name right. This one has been collaborating on a number of pieces with another person whose identity we will reveal later on. Oh, I see. I thought you all knew that from looking at this PDF file we sent you, Adrian. Tobias Adrian has already been thoroughly dissected by me. Trust Bridges and Money Flows is a digital marketplace that aims to enhance cross-border payments. We'll talk about it more later on, but it's really written by many top-level officials at the International Monetary Fund. However, we have Joe Villano and two other guys down here representing Ripple. Not to mention James Wallace. All of this revolves on engagements in Japan and CBDCs. The CBDCs are the main topic here. But, once again, Ripple was far from alone. Uniswap was Stellar's place. Was present. Notable organizations such as the United Nations, the World Bank, and the World Economic Forum are also present, but conversations like these are happening all the time in the context of many of these major projects. The effectiveness and steadiness of the financial system, however, constitute the whole synopsis of this white paper. The changing character of financial assets in the digital age is inextricably related to the contentious issues surrounding the efficiency and stability of financial institutions. Advancements such as asset programmability and tokenization have sparked conversations about money. Now, people are working to figure out how to influence this trend so it doesn't have a negative impact on the economy. One of the major points I will make about this is that they are openly admitting that they are making efforts to be ready for this new system, which is kind of strange, you know. There are more options than Ripple and XRP. Just because XRP will transfer all the money doesn't mean it will be appropriate or that it will be a one-size-fits-all solution. On this matter, nevertheless, I will state that I am aware of how long we have been waiting, but I'm going to tell you the truth about all the pricing you see surrounding crypto right now. Nothing of any substance. Since we are still in the early stages of this digital payment and financial landscape, all of these predictions are highly speculative and driven by hype rather than reality. That's why I think it's important to diversify our holdings and concentrate on the next big crypto buzz thing. That's where the majority of the money will be made, especially when we look at the pricing right now. However, it is where the bulk of the money will be produced. When I say life-changing wealth, I mean it in the context of keeping things that will be important in the future and being a member of the emerging field of alternative finance. As I said before, if we rewind the clock, we can see that Ripple has deep ties to the International Monetary Fund, IMF. In reference to what I said earlier, Tobias and Adrian, an item dated June 21st appeared on the website of the International Monetary Fund. In fact, Adrian and Tobias were involved. In addition, IM and Shawnee, they have been penning several substantial papers and PDFs pertaining to the digital currency domain, as previously mentioned. This is from June of 2021, however, if the shift to digital currency is well managed and controlled, it may be very beneficial for economies in developing markets and those with lower incomes. They want to do just that here. However, I'd want everyone to know how long it takes to put this into action. For more than a decade, this has been at the center of their plans. We have this information from many PDF files, some of which date back more than 10 years. At this precise moment, however, I think it is crucial that everyone realizes that we are well into this change. Now is not the time to give up. We are so near to the end goal when we take a closer look at this huge transformation. We are already seeing significant investment from institutions, and they will pour much more money into the market in the coming years. This will be great for all of the big players, including XRP. However, the financial industry is now experiencing a paradigm change. And it will completely change the game. Developing nations and developing markets are the ones who stand to benefit the most from the impending financial revolution brought about by digital currency. The reason for this is because we have been fixated on something for an extended period of time, to the point that it seems unnecessary. There are those who believe that absolutely nothing is occurring. Finally, however, we are seeing all the pieces that must be in place for this to materialize. All of stuff, including regulation and standards, is vital. However, everything else is already in place. Everything has been taken care of before. Place. Regulatory and standardization processes are the final big hurdles to overcome. And we will get it set up within the next 2 years. Do I really believe that 2 years is the minimum amount of time required for XRP's value to increase? No. However, doing nothing more than staring at the 15-minute chart will not help you make any money. When examining XRP, I see now, the market is clearly not ready to respond just yet. On the other hand, I've mentioned a plethora of other fantastic materials on the channel. They've succeeded admirably. One that has been doing really well is the export example, which has been going wild. Although there are many other promising prospects, I want to emphasize that XRP plays a pivotal role in the international monetary system, and that we need not be greedy about trying to profit from it. Therefore, it will take some time for it to reach $50 or $100 in the near future. Indeed, XRP might potentially reach a high of $7 to $10 or even higher. That $7 to $10 range is going to make a lot of folks happy, in my opinion. In the near future, we will see it, in my view. However, I am really looking forward to it in the far future. Yeah, that's all for the video. Do me a favor and subscribe to my channel. Until then, farewell.